It's starting to feel like baseball season, and nobody can tell us about it better than our own Reggie Chatman, who I believe is literally, not figuratively, literally on the road right now and headed somewhere pretty special. Reggie, can you hear us?
Zach, I can't hear you, man. Welcome on in. We are literally, as you say, in the car headed to Northport, Florida. We are in the middle of Florida somewhere. I've got my photojournalist Adrian here with me with his eyes peeled to the road as we are locked in and ready to go. As you can see, I've got my sunglasses on. We're on a nice 75-degree day here in the middle of Florida. We're feeling good. Really excited for baseball season ahead of a big year for the Braves.
Talking about being locked in. That's a good crew in that car there. Reggie, I'm wondering how locked in the Braves are expected to be as they get set to start the slow and steady march towards the beginning of the regular season.
Yeah, it's another big year for the Braves, as it seems to always be for this team. The expectations, as always, are high for this group. Not too many crazy moves, but once again, you've got a team that seems to have enough talent to be able to compete. Last year was obviously a crazy situation where they had so much missing talent with the starting rotation and injuries, like it seems to have kind of been for the last couple of years. But this is a group that, once again, if healthy, feels like they've got the firepower to at least make the playoffs and then potentially make a run if guys have a big year. It's going to look a little bit different this season with some new names, some new faces, but for most of it, it's going to feel about the same. So the new manager in front, and Walt Weiss, who takes over after manager Brian Snitker decided to step down and retire after this last season.
Reggie, you bring up something important that I want to ask you about. You talk about new manager. You and I have had great conversations about that here in the streaming studio, and now you're on the road on the way to really see it in action for the first time. What should people be on the lookout for under the Braves' new management?
Well, it looks like it's going to be, and like we said, we've talked about this before. What I really like about Walt Weiss, he's a guy that he's a great balance of keeping the same, I guess, camaraderie from the last year's teams while still adding some new life and some youth to this roster. So he's a guy that's been a part of this organization for a long time. He's a guy that knows how these players are. He's worked alongside a lot of these guys for many, many years. So he's got the respect of the team, but he's also a younger dude that brought in a new staff with some new people to help, I guess, reshape what this Braves organization looks like and feels like on the day-to-day basis. He is a guy that is, I've heard described to me as somebody that's not a drill sergeant, but maybe a little bit more dialed into the smaller details to make sure that this team and this organization keeps moving in the correct directions. Little small things day by day that seem to add up, and it feels like over the course of the last couple of years, some of that's kind of slipped a little bit with maybe some leadership. Walt Weiss is a guy that takes over this organization that feels like this team respects and can keep them in the right direction heading forward.
Reggie and Adrian, just like the Braves, on the road to spring training. Guys, we appreciate you. Drive safe, and we will see you from spring training soon enough. Appreciate it.